Howdy y'all, it's AK here, and welcome to another adventure. We are continuing in Final Fantasy XIV 6.1 Endwalker, and we are basically just starting... Oh no, it's getting cloudy. We're basically just starting off on our new adventure, and before I get rained on, just in case. Anyway, so... basically, we have discovered that there's this, like, group or council or something on the 13th with like an evil guy in dark armor, and then it's like the seed of fire, the seed of air, the seed of earth, the seed of water, and they know me for defeating the cloud of darkness, and it's a lot, but I think that's gonna be the next villain. And he even mentioned like now it's the time to, you know, go to war. So I'm wondering if like the source is gonna go to war with the 13th. I don't know, it's very strange. The other thing is that Y'shtola here might be able to get back to Runar. So apparently, way back in the day, Vrtra and Azhdaya were together, the brother and sister, and they went to Mericidia to try to stop the Alec invasion. The Alec invasion was when they eventually had to summon the Warring Triad because the summoning of Bahamut failed. The Alex decided to put him into Dalamud and siphon his power. Tiamat was trapped. We eventually freed Tiamat later. The Mericidians got so desperate, they summoned the Warring Triad, Sophia, Sephiroth, and Zervan. And that also ended in failure. Again, the Alex just captured them, and Mericidians fell. So apparently, during that time, Vrtra and his sister tried to help the Mericidians, and it failed, and the Alex opened a gigantic void gate which was laying in a whole bunch of baddies in, and Azhdaya sacrificed herself to go into the void to close it. And for thousands of years he's been trying to find a way back. He actually found a fissure under the bounty that he was able to kind of manipulate, control, and get his alchemist to expand just big enough for the size of a child. That makes sense now, not only to gain the trust of his people, but it makes sense now why he decided to make his vessel, Varshahn, a child, because it can fit in the void gate to try to look for his sister, but he can't find her. But because we decided to go into the treasure troves under the bounty, the ruins there, us thinking it's treasure and the rumors that there were treasures from another world there, we discovered this fissure as well because, I mean, he showed us. And Y'shtola got an idea. She wants to see if she can study and understand the ways of how the fissure works to transport these fiends from the 13th to our source, and then maybe like reverse engineer it to find a way to transport herself, body and soul, back to the first, so she could see, of course, see Reem, but to keep her promise with Runar. And I think her and Runar are the perfect cute couple, and I love them. So we're gonna go and talk to her now. And oh, that was the other thing. The reason why we're here is because apparently the I guess you could say schematics for the gate enlargement that the alchemists were going to do was submitted to the Council of Sharlayan, and they denied it, saying that this was prohibited blasphemous work, basically. So Y'shtola believes Sharlayans never destroy documents or knowledge. It's probably hidden away in the Forbidden Archives. The same Forbidden Archives that Graha got caught in during the MSQ, like the main story. So we're going to talk to Y'shtola now, and we're going to see if we can get into Numenon. Let's find out. If we're to enter Numenon's restricted archives with a minimum of fuss, then we must secure the permission of the Forum. First, however, we shall need to enlist the cooperation of a member to broach the matter on our behalf. Who do you think might be inclined to assist us? Alfie's father. No one springs to mind. Oh, Montache. What about Scholark Montache? He did come to Graha's defense during the inquiry, after all. To settle, let us head to Phenomena and see if he's willing to help us once more. Oh, okay, come on, Y'shtola, let's go on an adventure. I don't think I actually walked with you before. Oh, it's Sightseeing Point. Would you like to chat? Discuss the studium. I apprenticed to Master Matoya at the age of 7 and labored under her tutelage for a full decade. I never had the chance to attend the studium. Neither did Thancred, as I recall. Soon after Master Louis took him off the streets, he was put in the care of another Archon. He rigorous and practical education of the arts of espionage and survival. I sometimes wonder what my life would have been like if I preferred studies here instead. Tea at the last stand after a day of lectures, or should I wonder as well? Tea at the last stand after some lectures? Oh, that does sound lovely. Afternoons with friends spent sipping tea and debating theories. Still, I wouldn't give up my time with Mesopotamia for the world. The dank cave I studied in was about as far from the bright area halls of academia one could get. But it was a wondrous, magical childhood nonetheless. Aww. Come on, let's go. That was cute. Hey, what are y'all talking about here? Who made me share thoughts to today's lecture, you see? Yes, lectures, I have to try not to get lost. Montache! Hi. Can you give me permission to go down to the Forbidden Archive so I can try to find out how to open a void gate and hopefully not let anything through? Ah, visitors, and quite esteemed ones at that. What may I do for you? Pray forgive the intrusion, Scholark, but we were hoping you might help us secure permission to enter Numenon's restricted archives. Oh, no fortress foray into the stacks this time, eh? I applaud the newfound sense of propriety, yet in all this wide world of comparative serenity, what so compels you to disturb a vault of forbidden wisdom? We're trying to open a giant void gate. I want to get back to the first, to Runar, who I think is amazing. That's imagining what she's saying. Yeah. Let's see what Montache has to say. Fascinating. I had no idea such a technique existed. I would have been surprised if you had. If my assumption is correct, the research left behind by House Germaire has lain dormant in Charlene's archives for many centuries. And if you unearth this research, what then? Surely you don't intend to cross over into the void. That's exactly what we intend to do. That's exactly what we're going to do. That is, in fact, precisely what we intend. To what end, pray tell? To develop a method of traversing the rift, for one, that I might keep my word to a distant friend. He's more than just a friend. Sentiment aside, I have journeyed to the end of existence. I have heard, felt, and thought endlessly about the truth of our world and the echo of its future. And yet, I want to understand everything, to unravel all down to the very last secret. And what scholar worthy of the name wouldn't force open a void gate or two if a grand revelation was a promised reward? Oh, marvelous! An audacious proposal worthy of Master Matoya herself. And after hearing the whys and the wherefores, I, for one, do not believe you would use the knowledge for ill. I see no reason not to present your request to the forum's consideration. Thank you! So you're trying to do it right this time, not sneaking in like last time. Although, your petition might be better received if you get the support of another well-placed acquaintance. Alfie's father. Why, Master Forshino, of course. He can hardly ignore an earnest request from his dear child's most treasured comrades. I was hesitant to approach him directly, but there is no denying that having Master Forshino on our side would tip the balance in our favor. Very well, we will pay a visit to the Levenure estate and plead our case. Oh, I bet you Mama Levenure is going to make him do it. Oh, one last thing before we go. I would consider a personal favor if you might share with me the discoveries you make of the void. My appetite for knowledge is every bit as insatiable as yours, I'd wager. So if you could see a way to indulging an old man's curiosity? Okay, we'll let you know. Of course, Scholark will be sure to pass on any revelations. Okay, now we go talk to Daddy Levenure, and hopefully he doesn't hate us anymore, because, you know, we kind of saved his kids and saved the world and all of that. You would think that would be a good thing. Mr. Butler, I am here to speak to the Levenures, please. Ah, Mistress Teheka, Mistress Justola, how may I be of service? We come to speak with Master Forshino. Is he home by any chance? Yes, the master is in the residence. I shall inform him that he has guests. Please excuse me. Blah, blah, blah. Let's see if he accepts me as one of his guests. Oh, I don't go in? Well, well, Emilians would invite you inside for tea, but I assume this is not a social visit. It was a matter of import to discuss. Yeah, he's still short and to the point. We need to get into the Forbidden Archives. Then pray proceed. You have my full attention. You want to get into the Forbidden Archives in order to find out how to get this void thing that we've discovered under the bounty to make it bigger so we can go into the 13th so we can find out how to traverse in between worlds so that way we can finish our promise with Runar and go back to the first. Whew! I suppose I should praise you for following the proper protocols this time around. Yes. Scholar Montache expressed much of the same sentiment. I assure you, will not attempt to circumvent the Forum's authority again, unless it's absolutely necessary, of course. Of course. You do understand that the restricted archives are restricted for good reason, yes? If no pressing need exists, then why risk the consequences of employing this forbidden knowledge? To keep a promise. For a brother who misses his sister, she was his guardian and his friend, a selfless hero who crossed the rift between worlds to save our homeland from horror and suffering. But the brother has given up on thoughts of reunion. He spends his efforts elsewhere, watching over people yet healing from the flames of the final days, loyal to his duty while betraying the longing in his heart. 'Tis no vital mission perhaps reuniting these siblings, but it feels a worthy cause to pursue all the same. As one who feared losing his own loved ones and spent years in research to prevent it, surely you appreciate how painful such a separation must be. He does. Reflections are still very much a mystery to us. Offering to share your experiences in the first should constitute a fair exchange for cooperation. Yes, we'll tell you all about the first. Knowledge for knowledge. Do not celebrate just yet. The Forum must still be convinced. I will add your request to the list of today's deliberations and deliver the decision to you about the Scene Annex. Thank you! It's nice when things are calm again, you know? Are you still following me? You are. Okay. To Baldessian Annex. Okay, Stola. See if we got permission to go to the restrictive section. Hermione would be proud. So, what did the Forum decide? To put it bluntly, Master Motora has burned some bridges here in Charlian and salted the earth for good measure. When it became clear that her student was a petitioner of the question, well, no few members voiced their discontent. Then the chamber was reminded, in no uncertain terms I might add, of an incredible debt we owe to you and your companions. So I got a yes. That served to silence the grumbles and stiffen a few spines, and it was agreed that allowing you entry to the archives was the least we could do in return. That is wonderful news. Thank you both for speaking on our behalf. Well, yes, I am sure you are aware the permission was not extended lightly. Forbidden knowledge is to be treated with the utmost caution, and there will be no repercussions. And there will be repercussions if it is not. I wish you well in your endeavor and bid you a good day. Oh, he's still a jerk. He's still a jerk. Ever the same, that one. Uncompromising. Aye, but that very stoicism is exactly what Charlian needs to guide it through not one, but two exoduses. Oh, that's true. Not only was he in charge of the exodus to the moon, he was in charge of the exodus out of Mordona? No, Adalshire. I forgot about that. That went rather well, I think. As a child, I dreamed up any number of schemes for getting my hands on those forbidden tomes. Now I can simply walk in through the door. Our focus will be finding House Dremir's research notes, of course, but the thought of so much knowledge at my disposal has me feeling a little giddy. Stay focused, Ishtola. Open the Void Gate. Get to the 13th. Discover secrets. Back to Runar. Focus. Okay, Montache. Restricted reading. You'll be heading directly to the archives from here, I presume? Yes, you presume correctly. Then you'll want to speak with the index page when you arrive. It's been instructed to grant you access to the restricted section. Excellent. Once again, we thank you for all of your help. Oh, it was a pleasure, believe me. May you find the knowledge you seek. Bye. Shall we? Yes, come on, Ishtola. To the Numenon. Numenon and forbidden knowledge, and we're totally not going to make a mistake out of this and cause a war to happen between us and a shard full of darkness and weird creatures that can apparently possess statues. How could this possibly go wrong? Forbidden knowledge, opening portals. It's fine. Oh, this is a terrible idea. Ishtola. To think the set of instructions I laughingly imagined may actually exist, but yams away from me from where you found me napping. If I had known of Aldazal the Third's exploits sooner, I could have well saved myself days of research. Even a children's book might have pointed me in the right direction. To achieve the impossible, one must needs be flexible of mind and look beyond conventional wisdom. A lesson I had already learned, but clearly not taken to heart. That's true. I'm supposed to speak to the index. There he is. Please provide me access to the restricted section. Archine Ishtola and guest identified. Do you wish to proceed into the restricted archives? Yes. Follow me if you would. Watch your step in. Please note that the use of naked flames is discouraged. Yeah, I don't want to burn anything. Here we go. Oh yeah, we're in. Is this like a dungeon of knowledge? She's in heaven. Ishtola is in heaven.
If House Damia's notes are to be found anywhere, it will be here. Let us begin.
So we're gonna go through all these books to find this guy's notes. Oh my god, we are. Okay, well, let's start here. Unidentified journal. A little light reading. Today in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was so unlike a ravenous brethren, eyes blaring not with hunger, but trembling like a candle's flame, threatened to flicker at any moment. I wonder if she is even a proper word. Such distinction seems inconsequential. Insignificant, even. All that matters is the love I feel for this exquisite, transcendent being. Wait. Let me read that again. Today, in a world not my own, I met the most beautiful void-born creature. She was unlike any ravenous brethren, eyes blazing not with hunger but trembling, like a candle flame threatening to flicker at any moment. I wonder if she is even a proper term such to cease. Untitled Goldsmith's Journal. This isn't... That's not Manderville, is it? He's a goldsmith. Is his wife a void set? Weighty tome. In the year 1564, the 6th astral era, the Amalja summoned Ifrit, the patron god. Accounts describe the being as a gigantic lizard-like being with potent command of fire-aspected magics. Yeah. If we consider the primal summoning is an act fueled by faith and prayer, it is unsurprising, if not expected, that the resulting deformed entity would manifest the appearance and powers which it attributes by its worshippers. What, then, might emerge from the ether should one believe in an almighty omniscient attempt of the same ritual? Would the scholar himself grace us with his presence, some other embodiment of divine? Could this man-made god truly be all-knowing, and if it were, whence such knowledge would arise? I myself have many questions concerning the nature of the ancient world. With no spell to transport me back to the days of old, did I instead summon a being possessing encyclopedic wisdom of every age? Yet with no means to verify its pronouncements, how could one be certain that they were even true? That's true though. Like if the primals can be summoned by the tribes, what's to say that they can't summon one of the 12? Which is what I think the raid is about. Okay, let's see what's here. The following page details an advanced method of... found it! By House Dramere. We present this research notes to the faculty of Charlene Studium as both a token of our friendship and an expression of boundless admiration. We appear to locate it. Ishtola will need to make final confirmation. Ishtola, I found the book! Has something shown up to me? Have something you'd like to show me, do you? I can't read. My apologies. I flipped open but a single book and was completely absorbed by its contents. Here, I found the missing book. I really like these bookshelves. I want it for my house. Well done, Teika. I think you may have found our prize. Whew, okay, so now we know how to open a void. Oh, it's not open flame. Ooh. Make a great summoner book.
The ether signature is unmistakable. I've felt the traces of House Damia's resonance many times at the Great Work. Time to see what all the fuss was about.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll open it. Open it. I know those things.
Among the ranks of the Void Sent, there exist entities with the power to call forth their brethren from beyond. The species known as Atomos, however, is uniquely prodigious in this regard.
I have fought a few of those, yeah.
From its distended maw, it can expel an endless procession of void-born creatures. A talent which sorely tested the Radiant Host in its battles against these abominations.
You see, I'm wondering, like, this is actual text from the something maw. Oh, distended maw. Oh, it's exactly what she's saying. Okay. Because this is like actual text you can read. I have fought one of those many times.
Surmising that the entity itself was acting as a void gate, we endeavored to capture a small specimen and subsequently examine its physiological structure.
That's the man-made void synth that they made. They made one of these.
Our findings reveal that the Atomos had absorbed a planar fissure into its own flesh, which it could expand at will into a functioning gate.
So that's what they created, or were going to create.
Upon further analysis, we identified an ethereal wave pattern emitted during this process. A pattern we were able to emulate by passing crystal-stored ether through a specially designed prism. We proceeded to embed said prism into an arcane simulacrum, thus completing what we have dubbed our artificial Atomos.
They made an Atomos. Oh dear.
How could I have been so blind to the possibilities? This species, not to mention its ability to summon void scent, has been discussed among academics for years now. Just before the advent of the 7th Umbral Calamity, we received reports of Atomos sightings from every corner of Eorzea. Surely you've at least heard the tales.
Yes, so when they were shutting down the 1.0 servers, and Dalamud was about to come crashing down, and everything was gonna end, the crystals, the etheric crystals that you warp to in all these different towns were becoming corrupted. And I don't know if they were being replaced by or they were being accompanied by Atmos. And then it was summoning things. And that's how, because everything was going crazy because it was the end of the world. I wasn't there for 1.0, but I heard the stories and I've seen the videos. Like, I do know, yeah, these things were just popping up in, like, safe havens. And just enemies after enemies was appearing.
And still, House Damia went and built a mock Atomos of their very own. I'm not surprised the Archons consigned their work to a restricted archive.
Mm-hmm.
It was no easy task, but at last we've unearthed the volume we've been searching for.
Yeah, but we can't take it with us. We are taking it with us.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't tempted to stay longer.
Don't.
See what other forbidden titles might be lurking on these shelves?
No.
Ah, But that would be abusing the very special privilege we've been granted now, wouldn't it? Better not.
Agreed. But we're leaving with the book. I thought the book would have to stay. I want that mammoth! I want that mammoth so bad. He's so cute. I love him. Ew, more codex stuff. There is he, Seventh Humble Calamity. Restricted reading. Oh, no. Ishtola! As much as I would love to start crafting the Atmos, I'm afraid this is far outside my field of expertise. Fortunately, we know a Hunnish alchemist who would be delighted to involve herself in our House Drummer project. Our business here is concluded for the moment. Please pass our regards to the forum. Your message will be conveyed should you wish to indulge in more forbidden literature. I will be here. Patron mode disabled, security mode engaged. If anyone can help us, Nadana can. I say we turn to Thavnir and look for her at the Great Work. Okay, to the Great Work! Nadana, it's raining! Excuse me. Ishtola told me you're pursuing a most fascinating study and that you want me to be a part of it. Yes. I have no doubt you will be interested. This research lodge should speak for itself. Yes, let's just keep passing around this forbidden knowledge. Will it now? By the sisters, is a mark of House Dramir. I have never even knew such a work existed. Few should. It was sequestered in Numenon's restricted archives, after all. It was, but that means every word within is forbidden knowledge. A forbidden tome filled with forbidden research, and you put it right into my unsuspecting hand. I can hardly wait to read it. That's a true scholar. Aww, that was cute. Now the book's all wet. To think the Dramir were developing such marvelous techniques so long ago. How many innovations have been lost over the centuries, I wonder? Now that you've glanced over the notes, what say you to helping us build a new mock Atmos? I say yes, 1,000 times yes. Work on a Dramir project has ever been my redoubtable scholars of Charlene tremble in their sandals. No alchemist of the great work could resist. You are a woman after my own heart. Oh, I suppose I should ask, what do you mean to do with the big mouth simulacrum once we've built it? We're gonna go to the 13th. So there's a secret void gate, and it's sealed in the ruins at the bottom of the bounty. Today is a day of revelations indeed. If the purpose of our man-made Atmos is to expand the hidden portal, then I'll need to see it for myself, I think. Manipulating rift-spanning apertures is not the sort of thing you want to attempt without first taking into account every single factor. Then by all means, accompany us to the vault. I plan to lead us back there shortly, once we finish gathering the components I require. What? Charlene's market provided raw aquamarine of pure water crystals. Why does she need that? But I might need help obtaining a small quantity of astrally infused water. For such a liquid, you need to go further than the font of Maya. The ascetic of old once favored the place for their meditations. The water which pools there now is an ever-living flow of ether. That sounds perfect. If you'd be so kind as to fill a flask at the pool, I will petition Vrtra to join us. The idea I have in mind won't amount to much without his authority to command the Void Gate. Shall we about it then? We meet back here anon. So, she wants to summon something of water? She wants water-respected crystal. She wants etheric imbued water. I think she's going to try to summon something of water. I have a bad feeling about this, Y'shtola. Do you have the flask for me? Yes. Yes, this should suffice. Thank you, Teheka. I have a bad feeling about this. Oh, Y'shtola, this does not feel good. Oh, void therapy. Void theory. Each depart for the vault. I have a bad feeling about this. Look who I come across. Estinian seems in need of a diversion as we, in turn, May have need of his lance. Right then, now that our little party is assembled, let us make way to the ruins. Will we have need of Matsuya's boat again? Not this time. Once Stola informed me of our destination, I arranged for a vessel to be made ready in Akiali. Your Excellence is ever a gracious host, shall we? Y'all, I really have a bad feeling about this. I do not think this is gonna go well. Something's gonna go wrong. Are we gonna summon that, like, seed of water thingy that was talking? He was like, oh, kill them all. Ha ha ha. I have a bad feeling about this. I think something's gonna go wrong. Oh, I think something's gonna go very wrong. But a G-pose could never be wrong. G-posey. I have a feeling something's gonna go very, very wrong. The music says something's gonna go very, very wrong.
The ruins alone were impressive enough, but I never dreamed such a treasure lay hidden in the depths of the bounty. It may have been helpful to know this device existed, Your Excellency.
My apologies. The gate was a secret I shared with none but my closest advisors. I feared for what might happen should those with ill intentions learn of its existence.
What are you planning? The water-imbued crystal, the water-imbued
What is it you're doing
else.
now?
Yeah, I'm asking the same thing.
There's something I wish to verify. The NOAA reports claim that a short stint into the void carries little risk of etheric imbalance. Should one suffer an injury, however, or if one's expedition drags on longer than intended, that risk becomes significantly greater.
So you brought a bunch of water stuff to see if it gets affected differently?
Graha theorized that a warding scale would confer protection from the void's corrupting influence. But I would prefer to test that hypothesis before we set foot in the 13th ourselves.
So, this is an experiment of sorts.
Yes, an experiment. Tell me, how would you go about testing the efficacy of the warding scale?
So you got a whole bunch of water-imbued things. May as well go myself, say nothing, and look meaningfully at Estinian. Send a familiar. What if we made a Porksy, gave it these water things, gave it a warding scale, and told it to come back? Send a familiar.
Very good. I see you've been paying attention.
Ah, yay! I got it
As
right.
Vrtra sent his simulacrum, so too shall we rely on a familiar to bear the brunt of any unpleasant consequences.
And it's gonna be water imbued.
Now, a lowly imp can navigate a fissure, no matter how narrow. Which means an arcane entity of similar stature should be able to manage the same.
Is this gonna be the little water guy that you made when you were a kid?
I hadn't wanted it to come to this, but no other familiars will do, I'm afraid.
Is it gonna be the little dropsy guy? The little drippy guy? It's the little water guy, isn't it? I have the little minion.
I mislike the sound of that. What manner of fiend does she mean to summon?
From ocean rise and cloudbank form, from mountain spring and rainfall storm, from river flow and life be born.
What is she gonna summon? It's Drippy, isn't it?
Water, water, froth and fire!
She's making little Drippy.
Ready your arms. I fear she's been possessed.
No, she just made a little childhood friend
Oh,
thing.
come now. That was adorable.
And he's like, I'm trusting these people to go to the void. Oh. Aww. What is it? Aww.
Though not my first choice. These familiars I conceived of as a child have the best chance of fitting through the gate.
That's how, because she didn't have any friends who estimated, so she made these guys.
I only wish my younger self had considered a more dignified ending to the creation ritual.
It was adorable. Don't be embarrassed. I loved it.
In any case, these two should serve as well.
I'm totally taking a picture of that. It's well deserved. So one's going to have a warding scale, one is
will
not.
bear a warding scale.
And the other one will not.
And when they return from the 13th, we can observe how the talisman, or absence thereof, has affected the progress of the Void's corruption. If I could impose upon you to open the gate. Your Excellency?
Yes, of course.
He's like so confused right now.
We should also be wary of void scent slipping through while we conduct our experiment. Estinian, you are to keep Nadana safe from harm.
Good
As
idea.
you say.
That's what he's good at. He's good at
You had
poking
best
things.
be on your guard as well.
I love my face. I'm just like, what did I just see? I love this. Froth and foam.
Oh, are you volunteering to join the Nixies? I could shrink you down, you know.
No, please.
Let us begin, shall we?
Oh, this is fun. I like this. I love this banter. Something's gonna go wrong. Is this going on too nicely? But they know the people on the other side.
Into the void.
Something's gonna go wrong. How long are they gonna stay in there? Are they gonna come out now? Now we wait for them to come out? Oh, Nadana is ready. She wants to see what comes out. I'm with you, Nadana. She's so excited.
I think we've waited long enough.
Yeah, summon them back.
Nixies, return to my side.
Uh-oh. Oh. So he's fine, but the other one... Oh. Oh no! It's like dying. Wow, it affected it.
Thank you, little one. You did well.
Aww.
The poor thing. Its essence has been irrevocably warped.
It's twitching. Close the gate. The thing's on the other side. No, you need to close it. Close it.
We're out of time. I must reseal the void gate.
Do it. It's trying to get through something. I knew something was gonna go wrong. I'm ready. Close it!
In the name of Alzadal III, I bar this door unto the void.
Oh, that was too close. Seal it away. That was too close. We could have handled it. Still too close. Don't put my Donna in any danger.
Well, that was a sharp lesson in the dangers of void gates.
Yeah, don't put my Donna in any danger. I love her. She's to be protected. Wow, it really screwed him up.
And what of our experiment? I'd say the results speak for themselves.
Yeah, the talisman works. Poor thing.
The unprotected Nixie has suffered extensive etheric corruption. As Nidana observed, it's well on its way to becoming a void scent.
It's twitching. Put it out of its misery.
The one merged with the talisman, however, appears unaffected. I sense no changes to its equilibrium.
But does that mean that maybe his sister didn't change? Because the talisman's heart is dragon scale. She's obviously covered in dragon scale.
Rest now, little ones.
Aww.
Graha's theory was correct then.
So it would seem that while our second familiar was untouched by void energies, the talisman itself shows signs of degradation.
So it did affect it.
It was, of course, originally designed to shield the soul from primal tempering. It stands to reason that etheric corruption of a different sort would affect it differently.
So can we modify it?
We may need to modify the warding scale's design to account for the 13th's uniquely unstable ether.
You've said much of the Void's instability, but my imagination fails me. What manner of place is this broken world?
Hell on Earth? I would assume.
My apologies. I forget that not all of us spend our days sequestered in dusty archives. The 13th is a reflection of the source that was drowned in a flood of darkness.
It was the first failed attempt by the Ascians to try to do a rejoining, to my understanding.
In Emmett Selk's own words, this tragedy was a result of the Ascians' attempts to force a rejoining. They erred in their haste and made of that world a useless void.
So technically, in theory, the 13th shard was never rejoined to the source. It's still technically there. It's just all people hear like really noisy cars. Oh, give me a minute. Okay. So technically the 13th shard still exists. It's never got reabsorbed into the source like all these other shards did. So I guess technically that part of Zodiac never merged in, and that means that part of Azam never merged in. Us. That part of us.
You remember Una Kalhai?
Mm-hmm.
The unusual child we met during our troubles with the Warring Triad.
Mm-hmm.
He explained the fate of the 13th thus.
If you don't do the Warring Triad, do you know who Ukulele is?
The champions of that ill-fated world use the stone known as Auracite to contain the power of primals. But those self-same heroes were gradually corrupted by the Auracite's bleeding energies, transforming into fiends with an endless hunger for ether.
And also keep in mind that the barmaid on the first is also from the 13th.
By the time anyone thought to oppose them, Light's strength had grown too feeble, and the balance of the 13th tipped into eternal darkness.
He's removed his mask if you play that storyline.
It was Elidibus, as I recall, who rescued Unakalhai's spirit from his final battlefield.
That is true. Elidibus saved him.
But I wonder if there were others whom the emissary saved from oblivion.
There is the barmaid in Crystarium. The barmaid in Crystarium! Mm-hmm.
The server. Ciela, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you say she was another of Elidibus's pawns?
She was. She's now working with Ukulele.
I see. So Ciela, or rather Silver, was beguiled by the same dreams of heroism as Unakalhai.
Mm-hmm.
And what of your own experience? Will you tell us of what you observed during Noah's expedition?
It's been so long ago. It was dark, it was spooky. Evil green lady shot beams at us while trying to eat puffs of smoke.
I can picture it now.
Mm-hmm.
The sunless, Stygian expanse, infested with legions of ether-starved monstrosities. A void in every sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
What you have described in such lurid detail is exactly why I hesitate to encourage you.
Worry not, great Vrtra. Our journey into the 13th is but the first leg of a longer voyage.
To explore all the shards.
A voyage that shall lead us to other reflections, to new mysteries and discoveries. And I mean to be there every step of the way.
Yeah, you kind of sound like Varshahn right there. You did kind of sound like Varshahn.
But first I must focus on refining the warding talisman.
Then I can begin work on constructing an artificial Atomos. Or I could if I had the relevant manuals to hand. Might I be so bold as to request access to the Satrap's family archives?
What are you thinking there, little man?
Your Excellency?
What are you thinking?
Oh, yes. That can be arranged. I will speak to my officials upon our return.
Is he doubting this expedition, or is he worried about what he's gonna find of his sister? What is it, Ajdaya?
We will see you back in the city then.
Aww. He's torn. This could endanger his people, but he really wants to save his sister. Estinian sees it. He's torn. He's torn. Y'shtola. It's a trap's duty. Y'shtola ponders the next stage of the preparations to enter the void. Once Nadana succeeds in replicating the mock Atmos, the door into the 13th will be ours to open. Will you be crossing the threshold alongside us? I realize this is more than a mere endeavor than yours. And to be honest, I have no interest in visiting the void myself. I will discuss this later. There's something I must do first. I think he's gonna go speak with him. Why does everyone insist on being so secretive? I at least had good reason for not wanting to explain my Nixie ritual. Shall we proceed with our other preparations then? As we saw, the warding scale can be effective at protecting the bearer from other sources of their corruption. Nevertheless, the talisman's durability will need to be improved if it is to withstand the void's influence for a prolonged length of time. And I think that is a problem we can address without involving the brilliant but busy alchemist who created it. Please note that excels at structural augmentation. Garland! Let's go talk to Sid! He can fix anything. An excellent suggestion. As I recall, Sid himself is no stranger to the void and its volatile energies. With his experienced hand at the helm, I have every confidence that Ironworks can strengthen the warding scale. Let us visit the operations in Rogger's Reef and commission their best and brightest. Oh, good, they warp us there. Thank you. Hello, Junior Ironworks Engineer. Taheka, what brings you to the Ironworks? We have a commission for you and your president, actually, assuming he's available. Master Sid, certainly. I'll see if he has a moment free. He'll have a moment free for us. Drippy, you're just stealing the show. Hi, Sid. Don't worry. I got morning coffee. A pleasure as always. I hear you have a job for us. We do. We need you to augment the talisman for dark power so we can go into the 13th because reasons. Heading into the void to find a lost dragon. That sounds almost pedestrian compared to your last adventure. Honestly, I don't know if you could say anything that would surprise me after Midian and that bloody mess. Alright, I'll take a look at this talisman of yours. You said there were signs of degradation? Yeah, here you go. It seems such manner of corrosion has set in around a scratch on its surface, much as the voice crouched and seeped into Nero through his wounds. In which case, our best bet may be to simply prevent the scale from being damaged in the first place. And how might we achieve that? We have a coating agent for strengthening trinkets and the like, but I'd be wary of applying any compound which might upset the scale's delicate alchemical balance. Far safer to dress it in armor. We're gonna put a talisman in armor. We'll construct a protective casing, one utilizing metal alloys with high ethereal conductivity, so as not to impede with the talisman's primary function. A suit of armor, as you said. Nero has compiled data on the 13th, so I'll have him pitch in with the design just to be sure. If only it weren't such an ordeal to convince him to follow our safety protocols. I swear, I've never had such a reckless employee. In any case, we may need some time to untangle the particulars. Understandable. We know how busy your schedule is, and the final result will doubtless be worth the wait. Ha! The hard part will be ducking Jessie and her constant barrage of demands while we sneak about doing the fun stuff. We'll see what we can do. Oh, Jessie. She's only trying to be responsible. I think we can leave the rest in Sid's capable hands. Let's return to the great work and see how Nadana is getting on with the mock Atmos. Okay. I'm gonna keep Drippy on because now you're just so cute. Ow! Great work. Let's go. Nadana! How goes your research with the Atmos? Have you built it? Is it like tiny?
Ah, hey Stola. The adjustments are going well, I hope?
Yeah, we're gonna put in a suit of armor.
'Tis a lengthy process, but the end is in sight, yes.
That's wonderful news. I myself had some good fortune searching through the Satrap's private records. What I found was a transaction log dated around the same period as when Alzadal's legacy was built. It included a purchase list of highly exclusive alchemical components, and I knew I'd discovered the key to making the artificial Atomos.
I still have questions about this
the high
venture.
crucible to commission the materials. After I'd explained my requirements, I was beset by volunteers insisting I allow them to help with the entire project.
They're all so excited.
The usual reaction to someone forcing open a void gate is to run for the hills. Harnish academics certainly are a different breed.
Yeah.
The alchemists of old were cut from a similar cloth. The unknown held no fear for them. Indeed, they were ever eager to seek new knowledge, regardless of the danger.
Sorry there, Vrtra. Did not mean to put a talk bubble over your face.
And were
Varshahn.
you not also fearless? Heedless even, in your determination?
He was, one day.
My sire entered his dormancy before I was hatched. And so it was Ajdaya who kept my eggs safe and warm.
Ajdaya. Okay, I was right. I did pronounce it right.
It created a bond between us. Even long after I learned to fend for myself, I rarely strayed from her side.
Aw, it's a sibling bond.
She was my guardian, my sister, my dear companion. And not a single day passes that I do not mourn her absence. No matter how deep the darkness, I would not surrender my search. I promised myself the time would come when we would once more take to the skies together. But I am satrap now.
The Radiant Host is here to serve, Your Excellency.
Nabdeen, what is this about?
Go! They're saying that they can defend Varshahn and your city and your people while you search for your sister.
Sir Estinian told us of your predicament.
Aww.
For centuries you have protected Varshahn, never showing your true self, hiding behind a curtain and living only in service to the people.
They're gonna say, look for your sister.
Your dedication meant more to us than your deceit, and so did we accept you as our rightful ruler. After all that you have sacrificed for this nation, did you imagine we would begrudge you your heart's desire?
Aww.
We survived the final days. We are a strong and proud people. We, the Radiant Host, will keep Thavnair safe in your absence.
Aww. Vrtra,
I am
you can do
grateful
it.
for your loyalty and for your encouragement. And yet,
Now you listen to me, Varshahn.
Aww. Oh, wrong picture.
You are wearing that face, after all. As I have told you before, you are a little brother
that
to us
picture.
all. And if you are family, then so too is your sister.
Aww. She's part of the Thavnair family.
We are there for you if you need us. But do not ask us to sit by and watch while you abandon a sibling you have ached to rescue for millennia.
They're all here to help. Varshahn, accept the help.
We will succeed in opening the way. It is only a matter of time. All you need do is prepare to step through to the other side.
Oh, even the kids. Oh, that's his
Your
sister.
Excellency, I wanted to thank you for building the orphanage. It means so much that my sister and I will have a place to be together, safe and happy. And I hope that you and your sister can be together again too.
Oh, this is gonna make me cry. He's picking up lost puppies. To protect them well, you must take heart. Will you wallow in certainty forever? To protect them well, you must take heart.
take heart and protect them well. Such were the words I once said to you. And here I stand, failing to live up to them.
When he first told me his secret back in Endwalker, when he first told all of us his secret, he had me stay behind and told me that to protect them.
If my heart is torn, I am fit to protect neither Ajdaya nor Radzadhan.
He's gonna agree to do it. He's gonna agree to do it.
My people, I have come to a decision. Varshahn will depart Thavnair for a time. My dragon self will remain in the palace, but only to conduct the satrap's most essential duties. While I am focused on controlling this vessel, there may be matters that escape my attention. I rely on you my trusted friends, to watch over one another until I return.
Yes, they will.
Take care and fair fortune, little brother. Many tears would be shed should you come to harm.
We'll protect him with our lives.
I would not dare make you cry.
Don't worry, I'm gonna protect this little boy with my life. Even though this little boy is a giant dragon man. No harm, if I can help it, will come to Varshahn. Aww. You surprised me, Estinian. For a lone wolf, you've shown an unusual degree of, say, involvement in helping Vrtra reach the conclusion. 'Twas for greater good. The worm's thundering sighs were keeping his citizens awake at night, and had travelers believing the palace racked with an unnatural storm. Oh, you poor thing. What of your own answer, then? You seemed disinclined to venture into the void. When I was one with Nidhogg, his vengeful thoughts were my thoughts, his endless rage my rage, and his soul-chilling grief he nursed for Radatosker's death. I would not wish... Dripping. Oh, you're so cute. I would not wish such agony upon a foe, let alone a friend and ally. If there is a chance we can spare Vrtra this pain, then I will follow you. Yeah, he's going in with us! Any other former scions we should call on? I'd rather not bother our comrades with aught less than a dire threat to the star. We four should suffice for our purpose. Now, onto the specifics. Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted by... I can't with dripping! Unlike the first, where the flood of light was halted before its devastation was complete, the 13th has been utterly subsumed by darkness. My plan as such is to explore the void in stages, withdrawing to safety after each brief foray. 'Twas be more convenient if we had some matter of base camp nearer to the gate itself. One of the palace chambers here should serve. Come, let us reconvene outside of Megaduda. Ooh, we're getting a home base here? Vrtra! Varshahn! Excuse me, y'all. I need to talk to Varshahn. We're gonna get a room in Megaduda. That'd be pretty sweet. And so, we will require suitable accommodations. Might we make something available for our guests? All the chambers are currently hosting the great mounds of treasure we carried out of the vault. Once the Foundation's activities begin in earnest, however, we can redistribute the troves and make room or two ready for habitation. Good. Please inform me when you've completed the arrangements. Oh my god, there's so much gold we filled the palace. As you heard, we'll have you settled in Megaduda in due time. As ever, you are most gracious, Your Excellency. You risk yourselves to aid me in my search for Azjaya. Providing comfortable quarters is the least I can do. I only wish we knew more about our destination. The gods only know how long our exploration might possibly take, or what our chances of success might possibly be. Succeed or fail, I am grateful to you for convincing me to make the attempt. On that note, I will return to the great work and lend what help I can to Nidana. If you've preparations to make ere we venture to the 13th, now is the time. Are we actually going to go into the 13th in 6.1? All I need is my armor and my lance. Perhaps I'll train with the Radiant Host to pass the time before we depart. You know what this means to me, Teheka, but my purpose need not consume you as well. I do this willingly. You are headed to another world. Find what joy you can in the experience, for you are a traveler, an adventurer at heart. This I know. Are we actually going to the 13th and 6.1? I thought that was going to be later. It's got to be later. It's got to be later. Direct hit crit! That's got to be it. It's got to be later. Meanwhile, in the 13th. New villain. The 13th kind of looks like Pandemonium. I'm just saying. This is what we saw at the beginning. This was the dream I had. Where I thought that that was Xenos. Don't be Xenos. Or Xenos' avatar, maybe. It is, it's his avatar. It's his avatar.
And thus I am returned.
He was trying to return to the 13th, but why?
To this world, bereft of saviors.
The hole's going away. So, let paths unwalked, adventures spur, pulse quickens, spirits stir. That was it. Ah, come on. You can't leave me hanging like that, man. What? Okay, so hold on. So you're telling me that Xenos' avatar, when he became a Reaper, came from the 13th, and I guess when Xenos died, the Reaper was able to return? Where the avatar was able to return? Like, I need someone to explain. I gotta play Reaper because I need someone to explain to me, do all of the avatars come from the 13th? Because, like, you rip holes in the void, right? Like, it's all about death and stuff. I mean, it's a Grim Reaper. So, did it only go to the 13th because Xenos died at the end of everything? Because he died at the edge of existence in a world where Dynamis ruled all, you know? Huh. We're going to the 13th. Drippy, we're going to the 13th. Isn't that cool? You won't be all weird. Okay. So does that mean the new villain is the Avatar? So we've kind of met the villain already? Or is the new villain the black suit of armor guy? Like, who is it? What is it? Oh, he's dancing. Whee! Anyway. That was really good, but now I want to know. See, I thought it was Xenos at first. Maybe. Oh, don't tell me it's a way to kind of like pseudo bring Xenos back. Maybe like Xenos as we know it is dead. But maybe like his soul was needed to connect. Drippy, you are distracting. So Ishtola explained that like when a gargoyle is summoned from the 1st, or from the 13th. When a gargoyle is summoned from the 13th, the void gate is too small, so we basically just pluck their soul and inhabit something, right? What if that's what happened with the Reaper? What if with the Reaper, the soul was plucked from the 13th and it was trapped over here on the source, and then Xenos found it somehow, and then after Xenos died, it was no longer trapped, so the soul could be returned back to its body in the 13th. And that's why he's like, thus I am returned. Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot to go through, but we gotta wait till the next patch now. So until next time, thanks for watching, y'all. Bye-bye.